Welcome back to another episode of Stoppage Time TV. We are live back in the flesh, alive and direct inside all of them things there. Make sure you're following YouTube, Soundcloud, Spotify, Apple Podcasts. I've been in the streets, I've been talking, I've been mingling, you know, socializing, out there, active, you know, having a bit of fun, having a bubble because my team's winning. And as you can see, I'm wearing pink because I'm in a good mood, but the guys around me look a bit aggressive. And it's because the streets are saying that United and Spurs are going through a sticky patch. So to get to the bottom of this, I think we'll start with Spurs, then we'll go to United and we'll try and, you know, surgical summer, we'll strip it back. Like, you know, take away the layers. I'm never going to talk. I'm going to listen. I want to be educated. I want to know what's going through your mind.
Where should we start?
You tell me. This is your segment.
Bro.
Give me your introspective.
Oh my God, man. It's been arguably the worst week ever as a Spurs fan, I'll be real with you. I mean, let's just get one thing out of the way. Like, North London.
Hold tight, Skangdo.
Yeah. Has
AM.
Oh, listen, I've had to walk around like this for the last 3-4 days, bruv. It's been rough. But North London, anyway, has officially spoke to David Lammy, MP, been renamed Mini Munich. Like, they're coming through there and treating it like it's their training ground, basically. Whether they go to Arsenal, whether they go to Tottenham. But it's just
whether they butt under 21s as well.
Bro, it don't matter which way. But, like, that match was so embarrassing, like, on so many levels. I mean, like, imagine designing a £1 billion stadium just to receive the biggest licks in your home history.
Yeah, but anyone can get taken for idiot, though.
But you can get taken for idiot, but you don't spend $1 billion to get taken for idiot. Bro, and it's like, I've always said, like, big games are question Poch tactically. And, like, from the minute I saw the team sheet, I knew this game was done. Like, when I seen the diamond formation lined up, I'm like, brother, you can't be sat here giving Coutinho, Kimmich, and Coleman, and you can't be giving them time and space like that. That if you saw the video analysis after the game as well, like, them man were all clustered together. It made no sense. The other thing as well with Poch, like, when Aurier's been sent off against Southampton, please tell me, when he's shown he's a liability all season, why you choose to start him in arguably the biggest game in this season? Why? I cannot fathom it. Then you go on and play a high line when you've got two slugs now in Alderweireld and Vertonghen who are in their 30s now. They're expired. They're finished now. And they're playing a high line against Coleman and Gnabry. Are you smoking?
I told him that the defender.
Bro,
man. I told you
it is. And Harry Winks, let me not even get started. Like, people have been raving and hyping about this shoot. Like, he's the next hope for England. He can be the fix him. No. Exposed. Very, very average, bro. Like, I'll be real with you. Listen.
What are you looking at me, bro? Why is bro looking at me?
Because you kind of called this early on, bro.
Oh, yes.
Listen, it's an end of an era.
I'll
be real. It's the end of an era. Like they said yesterday, they said yesterday it was 8 players who've been there now for 5 years out of the 7 that started yesterday in the Brighton game, and it looked that way. Like, and it was all the players that had been either requesting to leave or wanting to leave or whatever it is. But for me, all of them, man, now it's the end of that phase when the Lloris, Vertonghen's, Alderweireld, Eriksen's. That phase is done for me. Poch said he wants to stay. I hope now we actually back him, because backing him don't mean backing him in one window and one summer. We gave him a couple of youngsters this season, but we need to back him in the way Liverpool backed Klopp. Signing him ready-made stars to actually compete, because now we're saying we finally we can financially compete. So let's show it by, because he's worked on the budget for the last 4 years.
How about the Brighton game? Because you gave us a bit of the...
Bro, the Brighton game was just... Lord of mercy. Lord of mercy. Hugo Lloris.
Brighton. Huh?
Hugo Lloris. Brother, I said it last week. He's finished. And, like, I know everybody's saying, oh, get well soon. Bro, that was your own fault. No sympathy out here. You could have easily tipped that over the bar. And what do? You're trying to catch it in. Are you an imbecile? Brother, what's going on here? Like, are we trying to concede on goals now? And then you want me to cry for your broken arm? Blessing in disguise. Blessing in disguise. Gazaniga, your time to shine, my brother. Whatever smoke you, man, got pending, I'm ready for it. Because if ever there's a week, I can't say much this week, man. I'm going to take my L.
Listen. Listen,
The floor is yours.
The thing is, yeah, it's not anything that I haven't said before. It's not anything I haven't
Professor
said before.
Cam.
I envisioned this. I called this. I saw this happening. This isn't something that happened overnight. 7-2, that is like, that's just like, that tips it. That's just too much. You get me? Like, that shows to me these players are not playing for Poch no more. Do you know what I mean? So you're talking about, like, give him the tools and stuff to maybe rebuild. I hear that, but at the same time, I don't think Poch's head is in it either. I think him saying, oh, I can stay here for 5 years, it's just kind of him flexing his muscles in a way, as in, like, if I want to stay, I will stay. Every time you talk to Poch about Tottenham and staying and what's going on, he always just says stuff like, don't ask me, don't da-da-da. He never really comes out and just nails it that he wants to be here. And
no, he did on Friday, actually.
But then when he said that, like, I feel like it was just him flexing.
But then it's kind of a pressure time.
Yeah,
so
and I just
will say that. Yeah,
I just feel like, as I said, this isn't something that's come around the corner. This is the whole of 2019, and I'm gonna have to spew some facts here.
And here's the thing: I'll be real with you. When you were saying it earlier, I didn't see the evidence like that. But after the 7-2, when we get slumped out by Cheltenham, and like the backup man who was supposed to show, was it who? Colchester. That was League 2 team.
Yeah.
I'm like, and Brighton, you're getting licks 3-0. I'm like, you're losing to Leicester, Newcastle.
Yeah. And like
the evidence can't be denied now.
Like
2019,
and
it was, you've won 17 games in 2019. You've also lost 17 games.
Exactly. 17 games. Do you know that's the most losses of any top flight side in the whole Premier League?
Yeah.
Spurs have lost. And the thing is, look, Poch, you're talking about what Poch with like what happened, like he should be able to like rebuild or whatever. But I won't have faith in Poch to rebuild anymore. No. Poch hasn't got the history of being a winner. Do you know what I mean?
No, I hear that.
He picked up a good side in Spurs. Yeah. Well,
it wasn't great when he took over.
He improved them. But listen, the first time Poch has had money to spend, did he spend this money wisely? Did he spend this money wisely?
I would say with Ndombele, so far he's looked okay.
But even that, I think
he looked out of depth. Now, yesterday he looked way out of his depth in a two-man midfield. But
I'm gonna chime in quickly. So this week, and I think specifically Hugo Lloris's injury kind of typifies where Spurs are as a club, as an institution, and as a business. You said it's the end of the era, and I think you've summed it up pretty well. Put it this way, right? For Tungan, contract ends this year? This summer. All the viral. There's one other person, Ericsson. Cool. You're not going to sell those players in January, so they're going to go in a free. Cool. There's a handful of players that have this, probably about 6, I think, is the year after. You're not going to sell those, so what's going to happen? Cool. Pochettino, bless him, he's tried. But if you look at his career, he's not been someone that kind of, really goes for a challenge. I was looking at the season, you finished second, and I thought, okay, that was a good run, but you got knocked out in the semi-final of the FA Cup, group stage of Champions League, and fourth round of something of Carling Cup. So what that means for me is that ultimately, in terms of if you look at Spurs are not one of these teams that are going to challenge on the front. If you go to a Champions League final and you don't win, and you've got players that are going to leave, put into context, Danny Rose in 2017 said that I want more money.
Bro, Danny
Rose
knew what was going on from early.
From early,
Danny Rose, and they were like, I'm out of here.
2017,
I want
he said, I want more money. So here's the picture I want to paint, right? If you play for a club that's not one of the big historical clubs in the world, right? You're not going to win trophies because we've seen that even if it's to go for FA Cup, you don't go for it.
No,
that's so stupid.
You can't compete, and you can't compete with the likes of City and Liverpool. What is actually drawing a player to you? Because the 3 big things, which are history, money, and trophies, you can't offer.
No.
So realistically, you're telling me that Poch is gonna rebuild a team. But let's look at Lloris. Let's say Lloris, for example.
Bro, he's just dead.
What world-class goalkeeper is gonna come in and say, you know what, I'll go to Spurs?
Not even a world-class goalkeeper. You've got to be in a situation the same goalkeeper.
They're not gonna give me money. They're not a historical club, and we're not gonna win any sort of trophy.
And to add on to that as well, it's like before the appeal where we've got a project of young players building. Like those young players now are the ones I'm saying are expired. It's the end of an era. So it's like you don't even have
that. If anyone
there.
joins you, it's probably because of the stadium.
Go on, sorry.
Probably because of the stadium. Even if I look at the squad, there's no one in that squad I'll be like, I would love to play with that player. If I'm being honest.
If you look at it,
What's Harry Kane did?
But if you look at Spurs, like as you said, there's a lot of players that don't want to be there. Yeah, this is the problem. That what happens when you keep unhappy players. Do you know what I'm trying to say? Why Spurs didn't just say, do you know what? We'll take whatever for Eriksen.
I said,
so you should. It's the same thing. It's look, the two people that said, hey, I want to leave this summer, Pogba and Eriksen. They've come and played like complete jokes this season.
Yeah.
They don't want to be at the club. They don't want to be there. Both of them should be looking at if we're big teams, we'll be saying, go on then, go.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm trying to say? Hanging on to these players ain't going to do nothing.
But on your point, Cam,
the thing is, like, as you were saying about who would want to come and play with Kane, blah, 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 all these type of players. Someone like Harry Kane, for example, he's in a position where he's a top player. I think he should have probably thought about leaving before 100%. Because now even like him, someone like him, his window is going to be closing. I don't think a top team, only team that's dumb enough to take Harry Kane this moment, I'm not even dissing him like that, is Man United.
Yeah.
Bro, like Real Madrid ain't taking him. These teams aren't taking him, so he's going to be in a position where he's probably just going to want to get a big mega contract from Spurs, and you not just sit there and control.
Try and be like some Alan Shearer or
exactly,
something.
and it'll be easy. The situation that Spurs have got them in is very similar to what Arsene Wenger did. Yeah, you can't be having your top players running down their contracts.
Nah,
you lose complete control.
Big time. Yeah.
Look at Aaron Ramsey. Look at the situation Aaron Ramsey and stuff. Like he ran down the contract. Yeah. Sanchez ran down the contract. You can't be having these situations. It's very similar, and I know a lot of people are looking at Levy and saying, like, oh, he didn't back us in 2000. But I'm sorry, this is the parcel of building a stadium.
The stadium, yeah,
you're trying to become a
100%.
big team. Yeah, I'm trying to say.
The only area where we're slightly different is that we're not paying off the debt like Arsenal were, so we're not as financially restricted in that sense.
And the thing is, like, after Arsenal built a stadium, they didn't spend money. They spent like 14 million. They bought like Rosicky and some random debt. You guys actually spent 100 million.
Loans.
Do you know what I'm trying to say? So like, even the excuse of that, like, he still gave you something to.
Do you know what's funny though? And it's interesting because you two are having this conversation. Your clubs are very similar. And it's funny that you both had shit weeks because when you look at it, right, a lot of what's going on is down to kind of how the chairmen are running the football club.
I don't think it is, man.
No,
the Spurs thing.
Hear what I'm saying. With Daniel Levy, right, you've just said that renewing the contracts, this and that, right? If it goes back to what we said, right, managerially, the manager's not challenging for trophies. You don't want to give out big sums of money, cool. So the only other thing you can do is... What? Who are you going to sign? No one's going to come for money.
For me, I think we've still got to follow the same model we've kind of always
followed.
You
have to.
And,
you have to
signing young players. Yeah, you
have to.
But that's not what we need.
Exactly. And that's because that's how your club has decided in the direction it's got to go in.
Yeah.
With United's one's different. But in terms of your chairman, I remember you went from the stage where it was kind of, you know what, we're going to try and make this Real Madrid Galactico of players that are past their time with Schweinsteiger, and it's always going to scare the opposition. Then that didn't work. And then, okay, cool. We're going to go for this kind of passion merchant thing where we play youth and young managers. And that's not working. Again, it's come from chairmans because the managers...
I ain't gonna lie. I think the Man United situation is different.
No. I'm saying chairman, but hear what I'm saying quickly. Ollie's first 14, 19 games, 14 wins, right? He tried and whatnot. Cool. Now it's disastrous, and that's because he's a bad manager. Yeah. But in terms of the facilities that he has, what does he have? He has a Pogba that doesn't want to be there. He has young players.
Would you want to play under Ole?
No, I definitely wouldn't. But he's got players like Matic and whatnot, and then he's been told, okay, you know what, you need to get rid of the dead wood. He's got rid of the dead wood, like,
but that's not similar. That's not similar to Spurs.
Yeah. No, but I'm saying in terms of that has come funneled down from a chairman's influence. I'm not saying that they're doing the same thing.
If I'm
but there's a chairman's influence in what's going on.
I hear you.
That can't be disputed.
If I'm Eriksen, for example, and I'm approaching the prime of my career, well, I'm meant to be approaching the prime of my career.
How old are you, 20?
And then we don't win stuff. Spurs don't win stuff, whatever.
You move on.
Then, okay, cool. It's not even that. But then my manager is coming out saying, do you know what? I don't really care about FA Cups. I don't really care. Listen, I'm sorry. At the end of my career, if I'm a football player and I look into my closet, I'm not gonna look into my trophy cabinet, and it's gonna say, "Oh, my manager Poch didn't want to win FA Cups."
Yeah.
I want to look at it and be like, "Look, I've got medals, I've got trophies." Have you seen John Terry's yard? You seen John Terry's yard walking around winning trophies? Imagine walking around.
I honestly think that's going to be one of Poch's biggest downfall is the fact that he was so arrogant to snub the FA Cup and Carling Cup.
But listen,
every single
how many times have I said it to you?
Every single year
he dig at you every week for saying, listen, you man messed up all of your big opportunities to win something. At the end of the day, right? Like let's call a spade a spade. Spurs are not one of these big clubs, right? You're not.
100%. I've been saying it for how long?
So any trophy is a trophy. Like,
facts.
I joked with you a few months ago. I said, do you even know your trophy parade? You don't. When was the last time you saw a parade? You don't even know what route it's gonna go down. So
08,
to
09.
win a trophy is still something.
Everton.
Yes, it's not a Premier League or Champions League, but it
builds-
gives you some
build
sort of
somewhere.
hunger.
Exactly.
And my thing is you look at it like this. Listen, if you're a football player now, let's say that you know what your knees weren't shit and you made it as a pro, yeah, and you played TDM like you wanted to and whatnot. And you'd think in your life, you go
This
for
Joseph Yobo talking about ball. Imagine that. Joseph Yobo is talking about ball, you know? Yeah, Joseph Yobo is talking about ball, you know? Whoa. Anyway, we'll run that back. We'll run that back.
But listen, what would you go for? It's similar to what Albert said in the news. It's either some people go for money,
Yeah.
they'll go to play for a big club and say that, you know what, I play for one of the biggest clubs in the world, or they go for trophies. Or some people, they're lucky they get 2 of the 3 or 3 of the 3.
Yeah.
Why would I suffer when I can't get any? I can't get paid good money.
Yeah.
I won't win a trophy and it's not a big club.
The thing is, as long
Like
as
Harry
I think
Kane
as
is
long
gonna-
as we qualify for Champions League, I think there will be some appeal to some players. Put it that way.
Yeah,
whether
no, I
it be the
agree.
young players
It's some,
coming
but
through,
is-
whatever,
is it the
there'll be
players you
some.
want? That's the
Whether
question.
it be the Bruno Fernandes playing in
Yeah,
Sporting
yeah.
Lisbon or whatever, but we need to maintain Champions League football. That's the key thing moving forward. Like this year is gonna, like you say, strap in this
Yeah,
year,
yeah.
Tottenham fans. This is gonna be a difficult year. Like top 4 could be an issue.
On Bruno
Like,
Fernandes,
it's that bad this year.
wasn't he crying or begging that he wanted to come
He
to
wanted
United?
to leave or
And that
something.
goes to, again, if you're at Sporting and you're looking at United, you think, you know what, it doesn't look that great at the moment, but it's still Manchester United, and I'll probably get paid decent money because I'm better than what they've got.
Yeah.
And on an off chance, we probably could win a cup. That is the difference between a Manchester United
And
and
a
at the
Spurs.
moment at Spurs.
100%.
I think
100%.
every single thing that could be going wrong with Spurs is
It's
going
going
wrong.
It's going wrong.
Defensively, you guys
Wrong.
have conceded 20 goals this season. Like even though United United have conceded 9.
Tactically, we've looked
20 goals.
weak. We haven't stuck to one formation
Yeah.
consistently. Midfield lacks creativity. Harry Kane only scoring penalties at the minute.
Yeah.
I don't know when he's going to hit that purple patch
Let me-
of form or
but
whatever.
let me-
It's like-
But the thing is, this is the thing that this is where like Poch has never been in a phase like this. And
Bro, I
now
said
this
it last
is
week. This is the first
this
time
is
he's
the
going
first
through
time,
something like this.
And let's think about it. This is a 2019 thing. Like I'm honest. I'm being honest when I say United being shit and Tottenham and these not being shit are keeping Poch potentially in the job, mate. Do you know what I'm trying to say?
But
If
bro,
he can do
facts,
that cup run that went on in the Champions League final, cool. Of course, that's gonna give anybody time. Of course, yeah.
However-
But however, you guys, when you did get to the final, were
Bro,
one of the
we
worst
left
teams to
in
play in the
final.
final I've ever seen.
We
Do you know
left
what I mean?
everything during the season, let it fall by the
Exactly.
wayside just to focus on this
And
thing,
then you
then
lost.
crumbled on the last step.
Exactly.
Like,
And then now it's continued. And I personally don't think Poch, like as much as I respect what he does, I don't think he has that winner in him to turn this around. I don't think he
like
has
me,
that in him.
I'm not gonna say he is a winner or whatever, but I think at least he's the board must back him to try and keep him if other clubs want him or whatever. And I think he has earned the right to be given the time to rebuild
Put it
again.
this way,
if
so
that's
where-
what he
where
wants.
does Pochettino-
If that's what he wants.
Where does Poch go?
That's the thing.
that's the
That's
big
my
question.
thing. Is
Real
if
Madrid
he
ain't
wants to
taking
leave
Poch.
Tottenham, I don't see.
He will
I think
drown in 10
the only
games
place I
at
can
Real
see
Madrid.
is PSG. Because
Yeah,
being
no,
a
'cause he's
former
an
player,
ex-legend.
But even
Yeah.
even PSG, you've got to remember at the end of the day with
they
PSG,
got Tuchel now as well.
yeah, you got to
He's
remember
just similar to Poch
in his first
type
few
of guy.
months, they were on his neck. They were on his neck. And what did he do this season? He said, you know what? Yeah, listen, I need something different. He made 2 good
Icardi.
acquisitions, and Icardi as well. Idrissa, goalkeeper,
Navas.
and it looks like, you know what? Potentially they could be. But think about it. His legacy is going to be whether they can do Champions League or not.
Yeah.
Listen, I don't even want to put Pochettino in that sort of predicament because if he goes out at a group stage, they're on his neck.
I'm telling you, yeah,
But-
a lot of these Spurs players, their final destination is Man United. If they ain't
Bro,
got
Yeah, 100%.
these
I'm
Spurs
telling
people,
you.
Poch, yeah, he needs to be looking at Man United.
Bro,
Kane,
I
these
see
type of
someone in
players.
the comments like, yo, what's his name? Poch and Kane on the way to Man United. I was like,
To
boy.
be honest, bro, like
We've spoken a
Poch
lot
can't
of-
go to top club. I don't think Poch can go. He can't go to a team. He can't go.
Can't.
Real Madrid, if they had him, they'll swallow him up. They'll
100%.
They'll swallow him up.
Alive.
They'll-
100%.
Real Madrid are on to Zidane. One of their greatest ever players.
onto
And the greatest manager of their recent history.
They're
They're
onto him.
onto
Hat-trick of
him.
Champions League.
And you think Poch can come here and start talking about I want to bring
Listen.
young players. I
And
wanna
a
do-
philosophy.
it's not-
Do you know
bro,
one of the
it's
worst
not
things
gonna-
in football, right, is if you don't have a list of accolades or something to say, you know what, I can stand upon this, you're doomed. What can Pochettino stand upon? Making a great Southampton side with Pele and them, man, and getting Spurs to the Champions League final on the budget of 0. That's fantastic, but in the grand scheme of things, that does not hold any weight anyway.
Holds nothing. Nah.
It's not going to hold anything.
100%.
When it comes to the football judgment, they're not going to say like, you know what, you did well, but it's cool. But anyway, you said that the only destination for some of these people is United, and that's a good segue to United. because Spurs have done nonsense this week, but you had tried a thing still.
It's not. All of that is not even. It's like the thing is, I'm not even surprised at that stuff anymore. Like,
I had a feeling you're gonna come in and say you're not surprised.
I'm not even surprised. Listen, you ask anyone that I know, we weren't confident about beating Newcastle. That's how bad it is. Imagine that. I was thinking, if Andy Carroll starts, it could be 3 or 4, let alone just 1-0. If he started, it would have probably been 3 or 4. Honestly, like it's going to. And I remember the other day I was saying Bruce is and Ole are levels. Yo, I might.
No.
Yo,
you said,
no.
You said,
correct that.
You said
there's only one manager worse than Ole.
Yo,
they
I might have
face
to
off
apologize.
today.
I might have to apologize to Bruce because I might have been disrespecting Steve Bruce.
Because I
Fam,
can't.
that was the first guy to ever lift a trophy for Manchester United. Lift the Premier League, and I disrespected him like that for Ole. Ole,
Talk about it.
I don't even need to say too much. Listen, as I said, Ole now he's officially the worst manager in the Premier League. And when I said he won't even be the best manager in the Championship, you know how scary that is? He won't even be the best manager in the Championship. Like, we have got a bottom tier. Listen, we've got a bottom tier manager, like very bottom tier. And we've got a very bottom tier team. Let's go through that. Honestly, let's go through the team that started today, and think about if Manchester United were to be extinct, for example, disappeared. What team would you put these players in? Where would you put Daniel James? What team would Daniel James
We're talking
go
almost all of them are going lower half of the Premier League.
all of them are going. So imagine you've got a team that are lower half quality. And
Rashford's going Championship.
And then you've got and then you've got the worst manager in the league.
Yeah.
It's a recipe for disaster. And when I said last week that it's a top 9 battle, we laughed.
Bro.
Man United are 13.
No, we were serious. We were laughing because you were serious.
Let me as someone that's seen their team do stupidness here. This is definitely worse than when Jose managed to get Chelsea to 10th, which is scary signs because if it's not 10th, then where is it? And I think you are probably 2 games away from it being as bad as when Hodgson said Liverpool could get relegated.
Listen,
you're nearly there.
When Liverpool,
you're nearly there.
Liverpool are gonna.
He said that. I think he said that in November. You're nearly there.
Bro, the thing is, as well, I don't even want to make excuses for Ole, but have these injuries?
Who do you think these injuries are stemming from?
You're going to blame injuries on Ole?
Of course,
it's because of his training methods. It happened.
Listen, let me tell you the thing.
But when he came in, was there not like a magical assistant quartet that came with him? You remember like Phelan? Who's the other? McKenna.
This is the coaching staff. Hey, listen, I'm not
know.
going to start talking about Mike Phelan. I don't know what Mike Phelan's doing behind closed doors.
I know, but we can't just all say Ole.
Listen, this comes down to the management, right? What did Ole say when he came in? I'm going to do impress, intensity, blah, blah. What happened when he did that? Everyone started falling to pieces, yeah? And then we thought, all right, cool, maybe because it's they went from one of the lowest runners to the fastest, to the most intense. Cool, that's natural.
Because United fans are loving that when they saw them stats. You remember?
Then you had the preseason, yeah. Yeah, preseason. You're thinking after preseason, all of that should be gone. Luke Shaw, muscle injury. Pogba, ankle injury. He came back, but what happened? Ole played him 90 minutes against Rochdale. He falls apart again. Yeah. Lingard, muscle injury. Delo today, muscle injury. Martial, muscle injury. Wan-Bissaka, I think it's tonsillitis. Some weird shit.
That's all his fault as well.
These players are breaking down. Whatever's going on in that training, Rashford has been fucking limping for the last 6 weeks.
No, but Rashford's been injured for like a year.
Bro, it's all muscle injuries. 1 second, Rashford is like, he's down. He's not going to play next week. Then it's like Rashford's in the squad. I genuinely think that he's just playing because it's like, I have to play. If Martial was fit, he probably wouldn't even be playing right now. But everyone is just falling down. That's got something. You can't, that has to be something got to do with what's going on.
Okay, how about the midweek results? You spoke about Newcastle, but the midweek one.
The midweek one against
zero
AZ.
shots.
The team that have conceded 3 goals all season. I thought Man United would break that team down. Of course we're not breaking them down. Bruv, in 2019, Juan Mata is Man United's creative midfielder, and you expect to assist. You expect goals and assists. When our creative midfielder in 2019 is Mata. Come on, we need to start getting realistic, fam. We need to start getting realistic. Like, these players and this manager, it's all going to go that way. And until, bruv, I'm telling you, the time is ticking for that boy, bro. Okay. For Ole. It's ticking.
Go on, you said
ticking. Do you know who's got the biggest win percentage since Fergie left?
Who?
Have a guess.
Is it Jose? Yeah, I mean, it's not hard to top LVG and fucking David Moyes, is it?
Yeah, I know. But just in hindsight now, do you think you was one of the people that was so like, get Jose out. He is the problem. He is at fault. Hindsight now, we've had what? How many months go by? New manager come in. New philosophy come in. Was the problem still Jose? That's all
Jose,
I would ask you. Because you was going on
adamant
like
that
if
it was him.
Jose left,
Things would
everything
change.
fixes.
The
And
thing is-
after the first 11 games as well, everything was all rosy
The
and
thing
magical.
is, obviously, the biggest issue with Manchester United is whatever's going on upstairs. Yeah, I mean, whatever's going on upstairs. But we've spoken about the Woodward. We've spoken about the system. We've spoken about that. We know that's the biggest issue. But Jose, it's not Woodward that was making Jose fall out with his stars. It's not Woodward that was doing all that type of shit. You know what I'm trying to say? The players didn't want to play for Jose.
I
in the
still
end
don't see a lot of the players getting any blame though. That's the thing.
No. I think the players are.
I think
the players are getting a lot of blame.
But I
they're
think I'll be
getting a lot of
honest. I
blame
think
as
that's
well,
a
man.
trend in football because even if you look at Spurs,
Like,
yeah,
for real, I don't
Pochettino's
like
formations and whatnot.
certain
But
Spurs fans are
if you
saying
look at
Poch out, like,
you're looking at the players and it's
dummies.
like no one's criticizing. Okay, Aurier's getting criticized, but apart from that, no Spurs fan is really saying that. You know what, Harry Kane's just scoring pens. He's just going in from
the thing
open
is, it
play.
gets to
I
a
think it's football.
The thing is, yeah, like it's hard because you
I
never want to.
personally-
You never want to look at 23 people and
Yeah.
say 23 people are the problem. One person isn't. You know what I mean? Because obviously
No,
that's
no.
the sole person.
No,
But
100%.
At the same time, it's like Jose did a bad job. Let's not, in hindsight, now make it think that Jose.
No,
did a good
no,
job.
no, no, and I'm
Jose
not
did
saying
a
that.
bad job here. Ole is just.
I'm not even saying
Just
that.
a
I'm saying
different
like Jose, the main thing that summer when he was leaving, he wanted was a centre back,
And you
and it was Harry
ridiculous
Maguire.
stuff. That's
If you
stupid
lot
stuff.
gave him, I think that centre back that summer, that season goes a lot better. I
Back
think.
to the
And
chairman.
it's from
And it's-
sixth-
Back to the
from-
chairman.
From sixth.
You gotta remember.
From sixth
Back
to
to
getting
the
sacked.
chairman.
Maguire's the difference from Jose finishing sixth to getting sacked.
Put it this way, he got
From-
that.
I mean-
how much has changed from this awful team to when Jose finished second? Let's be
In
real.
terms of-
It's
as in
the personnel. It's pretty
personnel.
much the same.
Bro, we've
No,
got
no, no.
Like
rid of
you've
better.
got rid of. You've
We've
got
got
rid of.
better, not replaced.
Yeah,
We've got rid of
exactly.
players. Listen,
I just think Jose was a world-class manager, and I think had he been given more time to steady the ship and backed a little bit more,
Yeah.
I think maybe
It's-
it could have gone differently.
it's hard to say.
It's all
backed.
ifs and buts. Don't get me wrong.
It is hard to say backed because
I know you'll
Jose-
say
back
he
to
had
the
the most
relevant
money,
Jose spent
Yeah,
the
he
most
spent-
money.
he
but
spent-
whoever
he
comes
spent
in is
the
going to
bag.
need money anyway.
But
Yeah.
at the same time, like there's some of these players that we're looking at and that we're like, this person's shit, this person. These were Jose's signings, you know. Jose came on live TV the other day to say Lindelof can't header. You signed him.
But he signed it.
You signed him for 40 million.
That's bad.
I don't get. I don't really get that. Like,
No,
you know
but
what I mean?
Joe,
Look at Fred.
He's
Did you see
He's a
Fred?
troll though.
Oh
Fred
my
is,
god, is Fred Brazilian?
Bro,
Man,
I've
we
already-
need to look
no,
at
no.
his passport. Is Fred Brazilian?
He's
I was
from
watching
Ghana
him
still.
today.
Bro,
He's from Ghana.
fam, he plays
No,
like
no,
from
no.
Ghana, bro.
No, he's
God.
from Ghana
No,
still.
why you
Like-
lot doing Ghanaians like
Nah,
that?
he's from Ghana. Them man
Come
are
on,
from
show
Ghana.
show my
still.
Ghanaians some
Nah,
respect.
man,
in all honesty,
They play football with their hands.
I like
In all
Stefan
honesty,
Appiah.
in all honesty,
man, there.
like a lot of these players, like obviously it's a mismatch of players, but Ole is trying to look. Ole has the right ideas. This is what's annoying me. He has the right ideas. Like, no,
Play
actually,
the
he just
youth,
has
doesn't.
Fergie's
Play the
ideas.
youngsters.
Yeah, he
He
has the
doesn't.
right ideas.
It's not the right
It's
ideas.
not
Because when
wait,
he first
no,
started,
wait,
it was
they-
it's got Man United principles.
Yeah,
Man
yeah,
United
he's got the
principles.
right
No,
ideas,
Cam, I
but
get what
he's
you're
just
saying.
not the manager to implement
Cam,
him.
I
It's
get
as
what you're saying,
simple
but
as that.
I don't think that. I don't think he has the right ideas. I think he understands what an ideal blueprint would be. That doesn't mean he's got the right idea. What he's
Doesn't
trying to
have
do
to
is he's trying to take something off the shelf. He's probably walked around the stadium and goes, "Oh, 1999.
Yeah,
I'm gonna
But
copy
big
and
man,
paste this.
This ain't floppy disk anymore.
Nah.
This is USB
Nah.
things. Listen, like he's not the man for the job. And again,
He's not the man for the job, as
hindsight's
simple
a
as
beautiful
that.
thing, but he's not the man for the job. How long do you reckon it's gonna last for?
after, I mean, if he,
Make a shot.
I'm hopefully he
Make
gets
a
sacked
shot.
today, but he probably won't get sacked today. But
Cool.
I'll say Liverpool, depending on how bad the Liverpool loss is, that could be his final game, bro.
Potential
That
next
could-
man in.
Yeah.
Potential. I mean,
Make a shot.
you've got Poch struggling. Why not tempt him? Give him a little nudge. Like, yo, we got
I mean, no,
600 mil to
with your-
spend
we got a
here.
bigger stadium,
No,
you know.
with your, that's one thing. It's ironic because with Spurs, this is the thing. Under Daniel Levy, everything has a price. Everything has a price.
It's like 30 mil,
Poch
though.
won't
But
work.
here's the thing. I was
Poch
going to say
won't walk.
32 million is
32
what
mil.
a club will have to pay to get Poch.
Yeah, like that's a
a
lot of
transfer
that's-
fee, bro.
Mate, get Fred out, bring Poch in, then
How
might
much
change.
you reckon you get for
Nah,
Fred?
Probably like 10 mil.
Six.
Nah, there's Poch. Allegri's on the market. You know what I mean? You wouldn't take Allegri? I'll take Allegri with Matt. All day long, I'll take Allegri.
At
Are you
Spurs, I'll
crazy?
take Jose first before Allegri.
Huh?
I'll take Jose
Super
before
Frank.
I.
Allegri,
Super
no
Frank,
offense.
Super
Allegri wouldn't go to
Frank.
Spurs. Allegri wouldn't go to.
Frank.
He wouldn't go to Spurs.
Alright, bro, we get it.
No trophies, no
Yeah.
money, no trophies, no history. He's not going, man.
Even if Jose went there, the
You
guy.
got to start looking at them German managers that are up and coming, like at
Nagelsmann
Augsburg
and
and
them,
them.
man.
Yeah, them man there. Because
Nah,
boy,
they got-
listen,
they got if there's Allegri on the market. Obviously, we missed the Conte boat.
Yeah.
Obviously, he went to
That
Inter.
was a big boat.
And look, this, you know, when you talk about improvement, you're gonna see. Look what Conte is doing with Inter. Yeah,
Listen.
it's gonna improve. They're actually playing
Boy, they're
Juventus
back.
today, so we'll see what happens there.
They're
But
looking back.
these are what you need. You need like a top manager. You know what I mean? Or a manager that you can see progresses things. At the end of the day, yeah, we all got excited with Ole, blah blah blah. But then now, obviously, I'm talking about United fans. So obviously, we got excited about Ole. And obviously it's backfired because now when you, as I said, when you go back to his history, he's a guy that relegated Cardiff. So he's
Manager at Molde.
Then he's manager at Molde. And you see the other day he was talking about in his press conference, you know, I've been through difficult times at Cardiff and Molde. I'm thinking, brother, why are you talking like it's Barcelona and Juve? It's like, he's like, we've been through difficult times. And I'm like, and he's like, but in the end, it all turned out good. I'm like, hold on. I had to go on Google and be like, this is the man that relegated Cardiff.
Living?
How did it end up
Where
good?
you living?
Do you know what I mean? He's just completely out of his depth, and now all he's saying is cliche things, just typical thing. He's just like a Fergie recycling book. Do you know what I mean? I'm not going to be surprised if he probably goes and tries to kick a boot at someone soon, probably like Rashford or something, act like it's the David
Young
Beckham
Pogba
incident.
get a boot in the air.
Yeah, you know what I'm trying to say? Like, it's just, we're done. That's as simple as that.
Let us know your thoughts on who needs to leave, who should stay, on all of that jazz. But there's somewhere else that we need to go right now.
Where's that?
We said it here first. We broke it down. We said Laporte getting injured means that loads of teams are going to look at City and think, you know what?
We can go for this.
We can get a goal here.
Boy.
Alas, Adama Traore has avenged Samuel Eto'o and Yaya Toure and grabbed Pep by his neck.
Bruv.
Kick it out. Kick it out.
Kick it out.
Bruv,
Kick it out.
2 goals for Africa, fam. 2
know what I
goals
mean?
for Africa. Tell Pep to learn our history, bro. You know what I mean? Tell Bernardo to learn our history.
Say what
You know what I mean? Raheem, stand up, speak
Wakanda
up.
forever.
That's what it is. Raheem, stand up, speak up, bro.
Listen.
You know?
Don't be shy.
I can't say I'm surprised.
I am. I can't lie to you.
I'll be honest, I can't say I'm surprised. And
I
it
didn't
sounds
expect them
stupid,
to
but
fold this soon.
it sounds stupid, but Wolves have been rough for a while. And Besiktas ain't a massive team. But the way they started gun blazing during the week against Besiktas, I said, yeah, I think Nuno told these guys, listen, none more of this.
No,
nonsense.
but that's the thing. I thought because they've been doing dead all season, I thought
No.
they went all guns
'Cause
out
you gotta
on
remember,
Besiktas.
right?
Come City, they're just going to
No.
bend over.
'Cause you
and
remember
What was the
last
score
season,
against Besiktas?
2-1.
To
Was it 1?
Was
Sorry,
it
1-0.
Wolves?
Last minute winner, yeah.
Wolves won.
Bolly scored.
Jeez.
Yeah. But last season, Wolves were that team when they were playing City. It was kind of like, oh, this is an interesting game.
Yeah.
But no, everyone seemed to forget that because of Wolves' form. Like I said here, when you see a defense like that, if you get one opportunity, you know in the back of your head, if I'm free on goal, it's probably a goal. I just need to get past one man. And the first goal is a prime example of what happens when when defenders are not defenders. Because what Jimenez did to Otamendi,
I heard man was skanking.
I mean,
I didn't even see the game, but I heard he was skanking.
you see with Pep.
Yeah, it was bad.
Look, this is the type of problem I'd want if I was a manager. Look, like Pep, all the teams that he's been at has been in like 3-4 years, right?
Yeah.
He's reaching that 4th year with City, 8 points behind in 8 games. 8 points behind Liverpool in 8 games. Listen, there's only so long you can maintain greatness sometimes. Yeah, I mean, either he might. But look at his career, bro. Look at his career. Like he left Barcelona because his own words, I couldn't motivate these boys anymore.
Yeah.
Bayern Munich, okay, yeah, he went off to City, but it was a dead end. Yeah, I mean, he kept winning the league and he wasn't winning the Champions League.
So he moved on.
If City don't win the Champions League this season, Pep might start thinking, listen, this might be the end of the cycle. Liverpool can go further and further apart.
Has he signed that new deal yet?
No, he hasn't signed a new deal yet.
So
He hasn't signed a new
So
deal.
technically his contract runs out this summer then?
Really?
I think so.
No.
Is it next
It's
summer?
I think.
next summer?
So,
is it?
like, I'm not saying that, but we can talk about Laporte as much as it, but are we really, this team that we praise about the most squad depth we've ever seen, this is it. Now we're going to make Laporte
bro.
seem like the oracle.
But this
No,
is what I
not
said
the
initially
Oracle.
about
Like,
Not
come
the-
on,
not
man.
the Oracle.
One injury is going to
No.
derail a team's whole season. There's
Not the
it's
Oracle.
deeper than that,
initially
man.
about the Laporte injury is that City don't get tested defensively
Defensively.
enough for me for people to say they're solid defensively.
Yeah.
It's they dominate possession so much.
Exactly.
It's like that we said like their centre backs are almost like defensive midfielders
Yeah,
because they're
yeah,
so
yeah.
high
Let's
up.
sum
all
it
the
up.
time.
Let's sum it up easy. We know what City's Achilles heel is. We've known what it's been for a long time. No one was good enough to expose it. When you make your own Achilles heel weaker, it's then easier.
Bro,
Same
it's not
thing
even
with-
that.
Let-
It's
let-
a
let me give you another
mentality
one.
thing.
Let me
It's a
give you
mentality thing.
another one. What have we said about Liverpool this season? What have we said about them in
They're
general?
playing ugly and winning.
They're playing ugly and winning ugly. But what have we said about their defense? It's
Yeah,
looking like
looking a
people
little
know how
bit,
to
yeah.
break through. Once people clock onto something, if you
Van
keep
Dijk.
hammering, eventually you'll get
This is
results.
what I mean. Like if a team sees that City are shaky, they're
They'll
going
keep
to
going
they're
for
going to
it.
come out and be like, do you know what, we can go for it. Look, not even to keep going back to Man United, but Steve Bruce came out and put hella attackers on the
Yeah.
pitch. He knew, well, we can take this game to them, and they did. And it's the same thing with teams now that are going to be going to against City. Adamar was sitting on the halfway line, just literally waiting for a break.
Yeah.
He was basically, if
cheating.
back in school, you'd have called it goal hanging.
Yeah.
He was literally just waiting there, praying it's going to come, and it came, and he scored 2 goals.
you
Like,
think so?
City are going to get exposed now, but I don't personally think it's solely down to Laporte. I think
not
teams
solely.
are just, I think
It's
teams
not
are just
solely.
tired. They're just tired. 100 points 2 seasons ago, 98 points. Listen, they're too good. What are we
Yeah,
going to do?
there's
Let's
only so
attack,
much.
Man.
There's
Let's
only-
attack. You can go and get 8-0'd.
Like
It could happen.
last season, I felt
You
like
can
a
go
lot
get
of teams
8-0'd.
were giving up before kickoff. I feel like
Exactly.
this season
Was
they've
it-
come
I
at them.
think
It
teams
wasn't
are on
last
it.
season. It was season before where they had beaten everyone, and it was kind of like everyone was kind
What was
of
it,
like,
first 19 games? Yeah, they
had
slumped
wiped
everyone.
But like we're saying now, it's just in general, like because when he first came, people weren't too sure. They knew what he was about. They weren't too sure. Built squad and whatnot. Now you look at it, you've got case studies to look at
Yeah.
of people that have beat the squad, and you think, no, they done this, they done this, they done that. What do we have? Cool. We know that there's something here. So it's not the be all and end all of the situation, but if you spot a weakness, it's like fighting. You're just gonna keep going for it. But again, if a squad has that much money, has that much resources, it is still, we've said it, it's like beating bush, but how have you not kind of made sure that this doesn't happen is one thing. And 2, I get what you're saying about the motivational thing and whatnot, but this is arguably one of the best managers
Pep,
ever.
man.
Yeah.
This is the
This is
famous Pep
Guardiola.
everyone
This is
goes on about.
Guardiola. This
Yeah.
is Guardiola.
But then, what do you mean, though? What do you mean?
Because
like, if
I'm not a United fan. Did Fergie? How many times did Fergie have to? Because Fergie was
Rebuild
winning
and
everything.
Rebuild and rebuild.
But
and
how many times
rebuild.
did he reinvent the wheel?
who? Yeah, Fergie.
Fergie.
Yeah. Fergie. Listen,
Like
in
we've
this-
been
in this-
calling Pep the last
Yeah.
year or so. People have been calling Pep the greatest manager of all
Think
time.
about it.
Yeah,
So
in
it's
this,
like,
You can testify
let's
to it
see
more.
that now.
How many teams? How many different squads did you see?
yeah.
at United?
Fergie built squads, but the thing is, like, in this day and age, you don't get managers that are doing long stints. They take everything out of their squad that they have, and they move on.
And then man
you know
gets
what I mean?
stressed and take a year out.
Yeah, but then that is what Pep has been doing his whole career. So it's not gonna all of a sudden change that he's now gonna do a 10-year, 20-year project at City. Do you know what I'm trying to say?
So-
And now it's getting to a thing as in, look, all right, look, if you've won the Premier League, twice in a row, and you've dominated it, and not even you won the domestic treble, you're naturally, as human beings, you're gonna not necessarily take your foot off the gas, but you're going to get a little bit of complacency when it comes to the Premier League. I bet that same complacency won't be there in the Champions League. I bet it. I bet because they know that's something they ain't conquered. It's a motivational thing for me, and it's a
We'll see.
complacency
Yeah.
thing.
I hear you on that, but isn't that what's been Bayern Munich's Achilles heel all this time? Because it's kind of like, oh, you know, we're gonna win the league, or it's easy. Then when you get to Champions League, the intensity is not there, and you get slapped.
You can possibly say that.
'Cause
You
that
can
same
possibly say that.
intensity ain't there.
It ain't
Yeah,
there.
I mean, you can possibly say that. The only team that walked the league and have been really competitive in the Champions League
Barcelona, I would
was
say.
even they've been getting a bit, but Juventus got to a few finals when they were winning the league easily and stuff. So I ain't too sure, but I just think naturally when you've been so dominant, you're just gonna
You
a
can take
little
your
bit
foot
of
off the gas.
complacency,
I
and
get
there's
you.
gonna be a little
That's fair.
tweak that Pep may need to do. Maybe if that's displaying a player, maybe if that's benching Aguero for 6 weeks or something and playing Jesus. Like he's not saying
He'll
it's Aguero,
do something like that as
exactly,
well.
but you're gonna have to do a little thing to tweak it
To
and
make
I think,
everyone wake up.
to make everyone wake up. Maybe that means in the January transfer window,
That's
he
what
might
I think he'll do.
Knowing
Might
Pep,
go
he'll probably go
January-
and
Buy
buy
the whole
100
world.
million on a centre back.
Koulibaly or
Buy
someone
the whole world.
dumb is
Yeah,
coming
if
in.
Koulibaly comes, they'll probably still just be leaking goals anyway. But I ain't gonna get back on that topic. I ain't gonna get back on that topic.
We shall move on swiftly.
Yeah,
But
yeah,
Liverpool,
yeah,
though,
yeah.
listen,
Winning dirty, man.
listen, they're winning dirty,
Winning dirty.
and it's their titles to lose. Like 8 points ahead this
They've
early.
been here before.
We've
though.
been here before, I know, but this season they must execute.
I told
Wait.
man. I told
Throw the
I
Champions
told
League
the
away,
Oms. I said you
whatever
men
it
have
be,
to win. If you don't win, it
must
slaps.
Execute.
Liverpool,
slaps. 8
Liverpool,
points off
Liverpool,
the
Liverpool have to win the
Yeah, and
Prem
if they
this
don't,
season.
it slaps.
They have to.
Must.
They have to.
Like,
But the media, I don't think the media are even gonna put that much pressure on Liverpool. Liverpool get away with things too much.
trust me. Come
Some
after
any
January,
United fan,
it
bro.
will come. Because
What?
it came
I'll be
last year.
honest, I'm hearing,
It came
I'm
last
hearing
year.
some pundits and whatnot say that what's it called? They should have it wrapped by November.
They should have the title wrapped by November.
That's what certain pundits are trying to say out here. But anyway, England squad. Some of your man got dropped.
Deservedly so.
Who's
bro.
man?
Deservedly so.
Ali got dropped.
Dele Alli.
Couple man got dropped. Lingard got dropped. What do we think of this squad? We've got couple Chelsea youngsters in there.
I actually think it's not that far off. I think swap Ross Barkley for Dele Alli. And that team is pretty much the one that's going to go Euro 2020, I think.
Nah.
I'll be real with you. Take out Delph as well, sorry. Fucking hell, I
How
almost missed
is
him, bro.
Delph getting
How?
call-ups?
Is
He's
he
getting
even
on my
starting for
nerves.
Everton?
Utility
He
man.
does, but he's getting on my nerves. But like, if you look at the team, I mean, I don't think Dele Alli is a big loss. Lingard 100% isn't a big loss. Like, bro, if I was to replace Barkley, I'll be replacing him with Grealish, bro. I wouldn't replace him with Dele Alli, bro. I'm being 100% serious. Ali can't play centre midfield, bro. He just can't.
Oh no, but
He
Grealish.
just can't. He just can't. He
Grealish?
can't play centre. And obviously I'll be getting hopefully if he starts playing a lot, I'll get Hudson in there. But then other than that, I want to make too much changes. Like,
Yeah, I think
Lingard's
that's
not a
squad.
loss. Walker, it's harsh that he's being exiled like that. But at the end of the day, okay,
You
if
need
he's
to
not
move
going
on.
to start, if he's
gotta
not going to
move on,
start, then
man.
there's no point of calling up a senior guy like Walker. You know what I mean? There's no point. Let's save him his time.
When
you know
that's
what I
your
mean?
biggest depth as well, like at right back. They've got
Exactly.
so many options.
Yeah.
Exactly. So with the England team, I think it's a good England team. Obviously, Tammy's gonna start getting hopefully get some minutes himself. Kane. Kane.
What's the
Bro,
problem?
like,
That's
nah.
your leader.
Nah,
That's your
like,
country
Like, let's
captain.
see. I don't really got that much complaints with the England team, other than the fact that I think Grealish should play for England, and obviously
I
Hudson
like
will
a
get
lot
in
of the
there.
young call.
Are you
I'm trying to say.
happy
Let's- I
that
don't even-
Maddison is finally back in the squad?
Let's.
man?
I'm happy that he's in the squad, but he was in the squad the last call up, but he didn't get a game.
No, I'm
If
saying
Maddison,
games,
he needs to be getting
The one
games.
I would-
Mason Mount.
The only one I would maybe question is it too soon is Tomori. That's the one I think.
Well,
I like how he's played as well. I think he started off really well, but I just
I
Michael
think
is it
Keane-
too much?
Michael
I think with
Keane.
Tomori, what other centre backs you got?
I'll be
Michael
real with
Keane,
you. I would.
Mings.
This might sound
Gomez.
crazy, but Lewis Dunk.
I mean, that just kind of reminds
What,
me of when
because
England
Harry-
used.
Because he said
Listen,
that Harry
the
Kane
way
grabbed
he
his
shut
chin.
Harry Kane down.
Bro, man had him in a headlock, you know.
Listen,
Bro,
But-
but
for
them
this-
movements.
Has
he
he been
deserved
called up once before though?
that. I
don't
think he's
think
been
so. I
called
don't
up
think
once,
so.
but
He's got called up once,
I've
but-
seen him over the last year.
He
or
got
so.
called up
He's
once
been
and he got
consistent.
fried. I
Dunk,
remember.
Dunk,
Shit team.
Dunk is like calling up like
he's a
Upson
Harry.
and them man
He's a
there.
Harry Maguire.
Back in the day, you remember when we used to call up Matthew Upson and that?
What,
Listen.
Franceschi and them. man.
Yeah, like even Tarkowski,
Otherwise-
he had his little call ups
Yeah.
recently. Now he's nowhere to be seen.
Yeah.
Call up Dunk, he'll be gone in 5
But that's
5
the
minutes.
same as like Mings and
Mings is good. I told you, bottom half VVD.
whoa.
Bottom half
Speaking of
VVD.
VVD,
Yeah.
I'm gonna say it again. You can
Why you
jockey,
coming for my guy?
but you can't hide. Oh, that's what I'm gonna say.
I gotta lie
That's
to
what
you,
I'm gonna say.
the way they killed him in the Champions
You
League.
can jockey, but you
Yeah.
can't hide. Man, them are saying that without Matip. Anyway,
If Joe Gomez will be the ideal partner for me to play
With who?
alongside Maguire. If we were to go centre back partnerships, I'll probably go
who
Joe
would you?
Gomez.
Do you know what the big question for me is? Who would you go in the middle?
Stonesy's missing as well, wasn't
Injured,
he?
innit?
Yeah.
Owens injured.
Who's your midfield partnership trio? Who'd you go with?
Declan Rice.
Rice starts sitting. I
Mount.
think. No, Mount.
What?
You missed the balance because I think you got to put Maddison in there. And then for me, you put Maddison and Rice. You need a link man in between those two. That's
So
what I
who would
say.
that be? Winks.
Ugh.
See, this
Disgusting.
Then who would it be then?
Don't do
This is
that to
this is
yourself.
the issue you've got.
Who would it be?
This is the issue you've got. It's a tough one.
Listen, international
Listen.
football. International football.
Why you always got to play three in the middle?
Which should you play?
Flat 4-4-2.
Mate, you're taking it back to the 90s, mate.
If it works,
I
it
said,
works.
"We're on
Hey,
the
hey,
ball."
Leicester, didn't Leicester win the title with that like 2 years ago?
Let's call up
Listen.
Vardy
3 years
then.
ago.
Let's call up
Listen,
Vardy. Let's call
play,
him
play,
back
play,
up.
play Tammy and Kane up top. Sancho
Yeah.
Sterling on the wings. Rice and Madders in the middle.
Madison in the midfield too? Nah.
Yeah, that
You
is-
could-
that is a bit sticky.
Yeah, you
yeah,
couldn't.
that-
You would have to.
That's
the
a
thing is,
force. That's a
we're
force.
We're trying to jump over Henderson. That's what we're trying to really do. It will
That's
have
it.
to be Henderson as the
For
second
real,
man.
yes.
But
What
Henderson,
are we doing?
Henderson,
Bro,
Rice.
no. We was doing this last year. We was disrespecting Henderson.
No, he's good,
we
but
got to respect it now.
international
No.
level.
The disrespect days are over.
What do you
We
mean,
respect
bro?
Henderson now.
Henderson is good,
Oh.
but internationally,
On this
you gotta be a
podcast, we
baller.
respect
You
Henderson.
got to be a
You know
technical
what?
baller
Let's
to play
leave it.
international football.
Let's leave it to
You've got
the
to.
fans. Let us know who'd put as England's through. I think that's everything for this week.
Yeah.
All I'm gonna say is, if Liverpool win the league, Henderson has a Champions League
Brother,
and a
respect
Premier League
the man.
that Joe didn't have, and that's what I'm gonna say. there
It's
on that
Gerrard's
one.
fault.
Yeah, that's what I'm gonna say, and I'll leave the agenda out there. But listen, socials, Stoppage Time TV, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, all of that stuff, man. We're out.
Ole out.
Africa.